It is Thursday, September 26th, and unfortunately, Helene is set to make landfall today and already causing lots of flooding along the west coast of Florida. Conditions are going to get worse from here, especially in the Big Bend area where we are expecting landfall as a major hurricane later today into tonight. And this storm, as of the 11 a.m. update, is a Category 2 with sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. However, if you take a look at the visible satellite, you can see the eye clearing out. We've got a healthy eye forming, an eye wall, and this system isn't really running into anything that would stop it from strengthening. So we're looking at least a Category 3 landfall. Could even be a little stronger than expected. One thing that makes this storm so interesting is that it's big in size, which means big in terms of storm surge. Notice Southwest Florida has 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. You've already got flooding on Fort Myers Beach. And then you look at the Big Bend and they're expecting 15 to 20 feet of storm surge. And there's two reasons for this. Number one, Helene is going to be a really big storm when it makes landfall. But number two, it's going to have some pretty rockin' winds with it. So it's going to push just a hellacious amount of water on shore. And for a lot of folks, this is not survivable. If you've been told to evacuate, hopefully you're out of there already because this is serious business. And you see even, up to 8 feet of storm surge in Tampa Bay, and that's pretty far away from the center of the storm and quite far away from landfall. So here's the track. This is going to be a fast moving storm. The forward speed's going to be pretty impressive, but that means that you're going to have higher winds further inland and a ton of rain as well. So we've got impacts spreading all through Georgia, Alabama, into the Carolinas, even into Tennessee. So this storm is going to impact a lot of people, especially looking at the pretty big metro of Atlanta. You're going to see a lot of wind, trees down, and a really big threat of flooding. Speaking of flooding, it's a foot or more, and you got a high risk of flooding from it looks like Tallahassee all the way up into the Carolinas, into the Appalachians. There's the mountains, East Tennessee into North Carolina, South Carolina. You folks really need to be watching out because when you have rain like that, a storm like this, kind of go up the mountains, it's going to squeeze out that water. So some pretty massive, intense flooding expected with this as well. And that includes, the Athens, Georgia area, Atlanta. There's a lot of spots that are looking at really, really not great conditions, potentially life-impacting conditions really far in from landfall. And then the storm kind of hooks to the left, hooks to the west, and spots like Nashville, where I'm at, we're looking at 3 to 5 inches of rain through Saturday. So bottom line, this is probably one for the record books. Everyone should be paying attention in the southeast because even if you're far away from the storm right now, we're going to see impacts of some sort. We've got a tornado risk for a lot of Florida up into Georgia right now on the right side of the storm. You've got the flooding risk extending really far inland, and we're going to have some pretty rocking winds, even up into North Georgia. Even here in Tennessee, we're still going to see some wind with this, even though it's just going to cross over us as a depression. So this is a really powerful storm. My thoughts go out to the folks who, have their families and their homes in the Big Bend region of Florida, South Georgia. You're really going to be dealing with it over the next few days and weeks. So hoping for the best. Just remember, if you're in a tough position, even going inland and just staying at a shelter can save your life if you're in one of those really vulnerable zones. So please take care. I'll keep you updated on the aftermath of this storm, and I appreciate you watching. Talk to you guys later.